On the 2nd of August 2021, global media channels were ablaze with news of the Taliban's rapid advance in Afghanistan. Within a few days, the Taliban effortlessly swept across the country, raising questions worldwide about how a force of 20,000 Taliban fighters could so swiftly overpower the Afghan army, which boasted 60,000 soldiers. As military experts began to dissect the reasons behind the Afghan army's sudden collapse, a term reverberated across the globe: the ghost army or phantom army. The phenomenon of ghost soldiers or ghost battalions involves troops whose names appear on military rolls but are not actually in service. This deceptive practice aims to divert soldiers' salaries to influential local entities, such as army officers. Afghanistan, on paper, presented an army of 300,000 trained soldiers supported by the Afghan Air Force, built over 2 decades by US and NATO efforts. However, after the collapse of the Afghan government, it was revealed that most of these soldiers did not exist. Former Afghan Finance Minister Khalid Payenda suggested that the official count may have been 6 times larger than the actual count, with approximately 80% being ghost soldiers. In Helmand, one base of 100 soldiers was left with only 50 soldiers. The other half were ordered to go back home while the commanding officer pocketed their salaries. When another base officially manned by 300 soldiers was attacked, only 15 soldiers were actually present. The presence of ghost soldiers and massive corruption in the military were major factors that led to the rapid collapse of the Afghan government. After the US withdrawal, similar instances of ghost soldiers causing catastrophic failures were observed in Iraq during the 2013-2017 war against ISIS. In the battle for Mosul, only 1,500 ISIS fighters defeated a declared Iraqi army of 60,000 soldiers, with the presence of ghost soldiers being a key factor in the army's rapid and disastrous collapses. Shady deals between army officers and soldiers, where soldiers shared a portion of their salary with officers in exchange for avoiding military duties, training, and barracks reporting, exacerbated the problem. Reports from Russia during the First and Second Chechen Wars highlighted instances of soldiers listed on the payroll who did not exist or had deserted, with commanding officers embezzling their pay. Similar corruption occurred in South Vietnam during the Vietnam War, where some officers in the Army of the Republic of Vietnam, ARVN, retained soldiers who had been killed or deserted for their roles as ghost soldiers. Units were allocated a set amount of rice for each soldier monthly, enabling officers to sell the excess rice for personal profit. Lastly, turning our attention to Uganda, Tangri and Mwenda's 2006 study of the Uganda People's Defense Force, UPDF, estimated that 30% of its force consisted of ghost soldiers. This further emphasizes the global nature of the issue, highlighting how ghost soldiers and corruption have plagued military forces in different regions and periods, impacting their effectiveness and contributing to catastrophic failures. The stories from Afghanistan, Iraq, Russia, South Vietnam, and Uganda collectively underscore the detrimental impact of ghost soldiers on military operations, revealing a pattern of corruption and manipulation within the ranks across diverse regions and historical periods.